Hi there. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are and wherever you may be watching this. My name is Leonard Parker, and I'd like to thank you first and foremost for coming to the webinar. Now, this webinar, I'm going to cover the pillars that we use here at Destiny Marketing Solutions for a marketing campaign for our restoration company clients. And you're welcome to take any of these tools that you get from this webinar and use them in your own business, or if you need some help, some expertise, feel free to reach out to us for more consultation. So before I get started into the content, the meat of the webinar, I'm going to go over a little bit about me and my team. So I first started in the digital marketing space around 2011. So been in the game 9 years strong now in some capacity. Started off in SEO, but quickly learned about other components of digital marketing, including content writing, email, PPC, and website design and development. I'm a native of Houston. Might have a bit of a Texan slang, but yeah, hopefully I speed it up a bit so that everyone can understand. So as a native of Houston, was affected by Hurricane Harvey here a few years ago, and being in a digital marketing space, I know that's a time where people should be calling you if you're in a damage restoration industry, especially water damage. People should be calling you left and right because obviously there's a big need in the area. And I've had family members, I've had friends who unfortunately were working with not so credible providers, and ended up spending a lot of money. And of course, with the emotional toll involved of losing your home or losing your business, you have this guy or this company ripping you off. So since then, I've really tried to work with credible damage restoration companies, helping get their services and their business out there, so that people aren't taken advantage of, across the country, not just here in Houston. So Destiny Marketing Solutions, we are a virtual agency. Headquarters is Houston, so I have a couple of team members here, but we also have team members spread out across the world, including other cities in the US, Europe, Africa, and Asia. So really, we have a diverse team, and we bring a diverse skill set to our campaigns. Now, this webinar, when I put together the presentation, I realized it was going to be very long, and I'm not sure about you, but I don't like do something that's super long. It gets hard to follow. So instead, I've broken this down into separate segments that go over our different pillars for our marketing campaigns. So first, we're really going to get into websites. That's pretty much your business card on the web, and really what it takes to build a great website that's going to attract leads and really help you grow your business. After that, the second segment, we're going to really look at PPC ads, specifically local service ads on Google, and how you can use these ads, especially if you're just starting out with your website, or you really want to crank things up a bit with your pipeline. Really, how you can use ads to jumpstart traffic and leads. Now, ads, they aren't all great, and that's why for the third segment, really going to go into SEO and how you can build up your own asset, whether that's your website, a YouTube channel, or whatever it is that you actually own and created on the web. You can build that asset to start getting organic traffic to combine with PPC for a great online strategy. The fourth segment, it's related to SEO, but there's enough work here where I kind of separate it into its own segment. Reputation management, so building your brand and managing your brand with reputation management. And it's all about getting reviews and making sure that you have a presence on places where your prospective customers will look when they're trying to decide between companies. And then finally, we're going to go a bit old school and look at direct mail marketing, how you can use it as a proactive approach to get in front of new residents or business owners in your community, and how that can really help you start off relationships on a right foot. So during this webinar, I'm going to have our toll-free number here on most of the slides. So feel free, if you're not sure about something or you would like to have a consultation, feel free to give us a call and we'll make sure that your questions are answered. Now, for this segment, I'm going to go into websites built for business. And really the focus of this is, let's say you're just starting off, or maybe you have a website that was built in 1999, but it's time to do a refresh. This segment is for you. So in case you've been living under a rock, you probably noticed that pretty much everyone everywhere has a mobile phone. And they use it for a lot of things, whether it's to play games, listen to music, watch YouTube videos, but most importantly for you, they use mobile phones to look for businesses and services that they need. So it's very important that your website is built for mobile. Google even has an approach called mobile first, where really the mobile version of your website, and that includes the engagement and pretty much all of the interactions that go on your mobile version of your site, can directly impact other parts of your digital marketing presence. So on your website, you pretty much should answer the question on who you are, so name of your company, what you do. So I know those of you who are watching, the focus is damage restoration, but you also may provide other complementary services to that. So what you do and why should someone choose your company? And typically what this breaks down to is, a brief description about you, the owner, the team, the company, what you do, areas that you specialize in, and why should someone choose your company. So that can include your experience. Maybe you have a unique approach to your restoration jobs. Maybe you offer a certain guarantee. Even if you're able to get customer testimonials, those are all reasons why someone would choose you over the competition. Any industry affiliations where maybe you're involved with the RIA or the NORP organization, these are all different ways you can set yourself apart and really show that you're a legitimate, credible provider. And really, to simplify things here, you just fill in the blank here at the bottom. So we provide outstanding blank services to whoever. So that could be, I'm in Houston, so Houston area residents. That can be Houston area business owners. Really focus on the specific service that you provide and who you provide it to. So in a marketing speak, we call this your unique value proposition. Other than that, there's some key components of a website built for business. So as I already said, it caters to mobile. And so I'm going to go over here. I'm going to do a screen share here in a bit where we go over and look at the Google Mobile Friendly tool. But a tool I also like to use is called Ready.mobi. And pretty much you'll be able to see your website on different devices and different screen resolutions. But the old-fashioned way works as well. Just look at your website on different devices. So if your team members, if you all have different phones or mobile devices, that's a great starting point. Just see how it looks, because even if your website comes back as mobile friendly, it might look awkward on certain devices, especially older devices. So that's something to always keep in mind. It includes strong calls to action. So you can't take anything for granted when you're marketing online. Even as simple as you might have your phone number at the top right of your website or somewhere at the top of your page. However, if you don't explicitly say call us, well then you're missing that final piece there. And then you want to provide social proof of organization memberships and testimonials from happy customers. So I already went over that, but if you're involved in any local organizations like the Chamber of Commerce for your area or any other organizations where people in your area, they're going to know exactly what that is. Those are always great logos to put on your website to establish credibility with your target audience. Now, as I said, I'm going to do a screen share here where I show a few of the tools, and I'm going to look at a few websites in different cities across the country uh, so that you have an idea what it takes to put together a good website. So the first part here is the Google Mobile Friendly test. And I just plugged in a company here local in Houston, and pretty much this is what it's going to say. Page is mobile ready. So mobile friendly. So what you don't want is this coming back and it shows that the page is not mobile friendly. It's going to be a nasty red mark here. And in case you're wondering, all you need to do is just type in Google mobile friendly tests. They made this really easy now. And you should see a box like this. You'll just put in your URL and then you hit run test. And if there's a specific page on your website that is really important for driving business, you can put that individual page in there and it would run a test just on that page. So that's the Google Mobile Friendly test. Now, Mobile Ready, unfortunately, it looks like it's down now, but it's another tool that I like because you're able to look at your website on different devices. So it basically simulates how your website will look. And let's say in case you don't have access to an iPad, you can actually get an idea on what your website looks like on an iPad. So definitely an important tool in my tool belt. And I recommend if you are building out a new website, or even if you already have a website, that you take a look at these tools to really see what your website looks like for different users. Now, next here to wrap up the video, I'm going to look at a few other sites that I think did a great job with their site. A few businesses that did a great job with their website. So first here, Blackman Marine. So pretty large brand. So a few of the things that are doing great. Here at the top, they have a Blackman Marine logo, and then it always helps. They've been doing this since 1948. So what's that? Over 70 years now. So as a consumer, that tells me that they're very well established. They're probably seen a little bit of everything. So that immediately helps me start building trust in them. Then right next to it, they have their reviews just in Houston. So I'm sure they have a page for most major cities in the country. These are just the reviews for Houston. So over 4,000 reviews and pretty good rating here. And then, like I mentioned before, they explicitly say, call us 24/7. So that's good to know that they're available 24 hours a day. And then they give their number big and orange, and it stands out. Then right next to that, they have the Better Business Bureau logo. So all very strong starting point. If I scroll down here a little bit further, I don't have to look around to see how do I get in contact with them. So first name, last name, all the information I need right away to request an appointment. And then right here, they provide little logos on the different services that they offer, so I can quickly navigate to what I'm looking for. And just one thing to remember when someone is coming to your website, you can confirm this. You can install what's called a heat mapping tool. So one of the popular tools out there is Hotjar. Basically, it'll tell you when someone comes to your website, exactly how are they viewing your website, like what's, where are they clicking, how far are they scrolling down the page, and so on. So very strong tool once you get your website up to take a look at. And if you're on WordPress, there's actually a very cool plugin that you can add so that it actually has the same functionality. Now, a few other things here. So pretty simple page. So they, like I said, they have a page for just Houston. So if you're in an area, especially if you're in a large metropolitan area, and it has several suburbs, I recommend maybe having a page for each of those major suburbs. That way, you can be a lot more focused with your keywords and also speak directly to residents of that area. So Houston, Texas, water damage restoration, fire and smoke repair, and mold removal services. So pretty straightforward. I know exactly what they do, and I know they target my area. So why our water damage restoration process is necessary. So it's kind of like, they start off what they do, who they are, why they should choose you. And then, they pretty much exactly all of the tenants I just went over, they do this on their page. Commercial carpet cleaning, air duct cleaning. So they do a little bit of everything here. So the only thing I would probably do, since I'm looking for water damage restoration, I will probably split these into separate pages, so that let's just say, commercial carpet cleaning, maybe they have the first paragraph, then there's something like that says click to learn more, like a button there. But same thing for air duct cleaning and so on. So they pretty much put all the content on one page, which isn't terrible, but sometimes, especially if you're a smaller company, you would be better off kind of splitting this into separate pages. A few other things here on the right hand side. So again, they have a larger, Better Business Bureau. It looks like they actually won an award for excellence, so that's great. It looks like they were featured on a local news station. So if you have anything like that, or if there's that opportunity, that's always great to build local exposure and to really, kind of cement your place in the market. Now, one thing I'm not sure what they did here, it looks like they embedded that video. But one thing you may want to do, if you have a video, is to actually embed it on a YouTube channel for your company. That would give it a bit more of a SEO benefit, and someone can find you through your website, or they can find you through the YouTube video, which are both obviously good for your business. Here on the right hand side, they also list out very succinctly, some of their kind of key differentiators. So all companies don't offer these things, so this is really good. And then, like I said, Houston, if you're familiar, it's a very large city. So they've gone here and they have put together suburb pages for each of the key suburbs here in the area. And so that's really good. So that'll allow them to target specifically those areas. And then, of course, here they have the map. So if you're not quite sure if they serve your location, well, you can just look at the map and see kind of their net here. So really good, and it's a reason why they're ranking at the very top for a competitive market that is Houston. So kind of moving on, I'm gonna close that video. So our second website is a restoration company based in Charlotte. Let's see if we can help it load a little bit faster. Okay, finally. So that's the one thing I didn't mention. You also want to make sure that you have some good site speed. So I will share with a tool that I use for that later on in the SEO segment. But so again, very cool logo. They have the name of the company on the truck. Pretty pretty easy. So you can select your service, what you're looking for, your zip code, and find a location near you. So this is specifically the Charlotte page. So request a service, again, since 1976, so still about 45 years in the game, so a lot of experience. So I know they probably know what they're doing. They're right away telling you some of the things that set them apart. So why choose them? So it actually clicks to another page, which is fine. Lifetime guarantee. So it looks like they offer plumbing and electrical repairs. So that's huge. On time, clean, and friendly. So they just did a quick snippet of a testimonial. That's something. Actually, the previous website, they actually had a separate tab for. So there are different ways you can do it. I prefer to just have everything on one layout, but they have the second tab here just for reviews. But again, and then money saving offers. Everyone likes to save money, so that's definitely going to catch some eyeballs. And then, so these guys are actually a plumber who looks like they offer restoration services. So again, plumber in Charlotte, North Carolina, Gastonia, and Rock Hill. So I'm not familiar with Charlotte, but I'm assuming those are nearby areas. Lifetime guarantee on most plumbing and electrical repairs. Again, that's great to see. And then they have testimonials, which are huge. So that's great. And then if you scroll down a little bit further, they have some videos, it looks like here. So I'm not quite sure what this is. Let's take a look. I'll pause it because I don't know what we're looking at. Or I should say mute it. Okay, so it looks like they have a commercial with Mike Tyson. So that's cool. So a little bit different. So maybe something like that I'll actually put, maybe feature it more in the page. But a few other things, they have their social media links, which really weren't prominent on our first website. It's kind of further down on the page. But they make these a little bit bigger. And then they have the navigation here. And then, one thing that I mentioned that they're not doing, they don't have the call us right before the phone number. So that's something that I would recommend that they add. And then there's kind of small here, but wanted to point attention to it. So they pretty much serve all of North Carolina. So this page is for Charlotte, but it looks like they serve a lot of other cities and towns in North Carolina and South Carolina, it looks like. So this was more of an old school tactic where if you list the cities that you service, it definitely can help, get that call. But as far as SEO, it may be better, if the population of these cities warrant it, it may be better just to have a separate page for each of these that warrant it. Similar to how our first example, Blackman Marine, they did with the Houston area. But overall, very good. A lot of the key components that we talked about. I would say the only thing that I'm missing here are those. Well, actually, looks like we have something here. But I don't know what this is really telling me because it just goes to the website. So similar to how the Blackman Marine website, they had the Pinnacle Excellence Award at the very top. I'm not sure if they have anything like that, but something like this probably should be further up on the page. So again, who you are, what you do, why should someone choose you? So they kind of, have these little snippets here and there. But outside the lifetime guarantee, I'm not sure, what else sets them apart or, from local competition. So just something to think about. Just think about if you don't have awards like that, apply for them. Join those groups where you can get recognition for your restoration company. Now, looking at our final example, so water, mold, fire restoration, and this particular page is for Atlanta. So a little confused here. So they have the 800 number here at the top. So I'm guessing that's their national number, and then they have the 678 number here in their slider. So since this is the Atlanta page, I would probably switch that 800 number with that 678 number, just because I'm not sure about you, but when people see a local number, they have a better idea that it's a local business. Even if it's a branch of a national company, having that local number tells them that, hey, these guys are in my area somewhere. So looks like they serve all of Georgia here, so I'm not sure if that's accurate. But again, they tell you what they provide. They have the free quote button, so that's good. A few things about the pictures, maybe they can add their logos, or if maybe they have a team member with a uniform, they could include them in a photo, just to make sure that these aren't stock images, because you could probably buy something like this off Shutterstock or something. This is great. They have a truck, so that's awesome. Then it tells you over here what they do. So it's cool. They sponsor the American Red Cross, so that's great. So tell you again what they do, before and after pictures. So that's not something we saw on the landing pages for the other two sites. So that's really good. That's definitely something that someone who is trying to shop around for services, that's something they're definitely are going to want to see. Again, more before and after. Yup. So again, I would probably put some of these in at the top here, because I know definitely this organization is very important for people. It's probably one of the leading organizations. And also this maybe, and this is something that was missing also, is that knowing which insurance companies your business works with, because sometimes that can be a deal breaker for a customer. So definitely you want to put these logos like they did here. What I would recommend they do is maybe add some of these, push those further up to the top. Um, and I guess what I'm missing here, I understand that this may be a big company that serves several cities, which it looks like they do, but maybe, something that's more local. So maybe some um, local testimonials. Not really seeing these on the page. Um, yeah, I think that would be a good idea. And then kind of have to scroll all the way to the bottom to actually find a number. So if you don't catch it here at the top on the slider, the only other way to get it is to find that local number. So they have the 800 number. I'm sure they can direct you, but you want to take people directly to where the business owner they're going to be talking to. So those are my feedback on these three websites. Again, I think each of these, they have different components that, if you incorporate into your website, should set you up for success. And again, remember, you also want to look at mobile friendly with those two tools that I shared at the beginning of the demonstration. Now, for those links, I'll share all of them in the YouTube video description if you're watching on YouTube. And if not, if you're watching on the website, I'll make sure to share those below the video as well. So thanks for watching. And for the second segment, we're going to be going over paid ads. So see you soon.